Happy Wednesday, everyone. Well, not if you're Whoopi Goldberg, a.k.a. Karen Johnson. Yeah, who knew Whoopi was a Karen? I thought that was only for white people, like Toyota Priuses and skiing. Roll it, Francis.
Good morning and welcome to The View. You all saw the news. Whoopi will be back here in 2 weeks. Okay?
It's so cute when one of their side gets punished. They sulk like they ran out of raw cookie dough in the green room.
Imagine the cameras rolling beneath blazing studio lights. 5 panelists gather around a familiar round table, while the countdown to another live broadcast quietly reaches 0. At the center sits Whoopi Goldberg, relaxed and confident, unaware that a conversation unfolding in another television studio is about to dominate the news cycle. Across town, Greg Gutfeld delivers a segment with his trademark grin, setting off a reaction that will spread through television clips, social media, and online debate before the next morning. What follows isn't presented as just another exchange between television personalities. It becomes the kind of media moment that everyone suddenly seems to have an opinion about.
Suspended Whoopi for 2 weeks because she said the Holocaust had nothing to do with race. She said this on a show called The View, which makes everything about race. Except now.
The Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
Ethnicity. It's about a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man.
Yeah, that's heroically stupid.
Yet moments like these rarely appear out of nowhere. They are usually the result of years of habits, expectations, and public perception slowly stacking on top of one another. Critics have long argued that The View shifted away from open discussion toward predictable ideological clashes, where interruptions and emotional reactions often overshadow genuine debate. At the center of that criticism sits Whoopi, whose commanding presence has become one of the show's defining features. Supporters see confidence, detractors see a style that leaves little room for disagreement. Either way, the image has become deeply familiar to audiences.
Otherwise known as Hell's DMV, Whoopi Goldberg asked how much different are the values of the Trump administration from the Taliban?
We have a leader who has repeatedly demeaned women, wants to defund organizations that benefit women, calling on the media to shut up, specifically wants to give preferential treatment based on...
Then a clip from Gutfeld's show begins making the rounds online. Instead of responding with outrage or theatrical insults, he keeps his delivery calm, measured, and almost playful. That restraint becomes the story. In an era filled with shouting matches, his quieter approach stands out. Rather than relying on personal attacks, he focuses on dissecting the arguments point by point, creating the impression that he is letting the facts speak for themselves. Before many viewers have even seen the original discussion, the clip has already begun spreading rapidly across social platforms.
Talk about groundbreaking to actually hear a celebrity say something mean about the Taliban. How dare they compare them to Trump? The Taliban should sue. Guess they ran out of Hitler analogies. So as they bash the president, I'm reminded how entertainers rarely express any rage over any strand of misogynist Islamism. If they did, we might take their rage toward Trump seriously. A reminder, the Taliban throw acid in girls' faces for going to school. Yeah, I guess that's like defunding Planned Parenthood. Radical Islam is all for killing gays, and I guess that's the same as making some rude jokes. Note, Trump's past rudeness is a product of a rude culture, one fed and fattened by a coarse entertainment industry.
Soon afterward, the discussion reaches The View itself. As Gutfeld's remarks enter the conversation, viewers notice a brief pause from Whoopi, a split second that online audiences quickly isolate and replay. The hesitation is followed by familiar attempts to redirect the discussion, complete with her recognizable tone and authoritative delivery. But the television audience is no longer the only audience that matters. Millions are now watching through short clips, reaction videos, and edited highlights, where every facial expression becomes material for endless analysis and parody.
Canada, apparently they're throwing tariffs on manatee meat and bovine semen, which means The View is very unhappy. Oh. Sausage maker Johnsonville is recalling more than 42,000 pounds of pork sausage for possible contamination with plastic fibers. Fortunately, authorities were able to track all 42,000 pounds to a single location in New York City.
As the exchange continues, attention shifts from the arguments themselves to the presentation. Critics describe the response as increasingly dramatic, with longer pauses, larger gestures, and appeals to broader moral themes rather than direct rebuttals. Around the table, the co-hosts react in their own ways, each contributing to the atmosphere without fundamentally changing its direction. Whether viewers interpret those reactions as support, concern, or simple television rhythm depends largely on which side of the debate they already occupy.
Brains are small, but who's the dumbest one of all? True, none of them are in Mensa, but who's the most densa? Perhaps it's Sunny who mastered the art of making idiots look smart. Now, The View could ask a mirror who's the dumbest one of all, but there's no way that glass doesn't shatter. So instead, let's check out this clip from Monday's episode of The View when the ladies put their science caps on and discuss the solar...
While the program continues, the internet moves much faster. Within hours, clips are circulating across X, TikTok, Reddit, and YouTube. Creators remix the footage with captions, reaction edits, dramatic music, and memes that amplify every pause and expression. What gains the most attention isn't necessarily any particular statement, it is a brief moment of hesitation that countless users interpret in different ways. In today's online environment, even silence can become the most discussed part of a conversation.
The rapture is here. The rapture's here, and then also I learned that the cicadas are coming. Cicadas.
Although I love
for the first time in like
No,
100 years, for the first time in many, many years.
No, every 17 years this happens.
Well, that's not what I read, but maybe maybe you know better. All those things together would maybe lead one to believe that either climate change exists or something is returning.
Earthquakes are not at the mercy of climate change. It's underground.
It happens, and the eclipse, they've known about the eclipse coming because eclipses happen, and they actually can say when these things are going to happen.
Amazing. Oh. That's not what I read. The true sign of the apocalypse is someone that dumb has a law degree. Worse, if your name has the word sun in it, there's no excuse for not knowing how an eclipse works. But it's no surprise that Joy is the one who understands science. She's been on the science diet for years.
Online commentators soon begin connecting the moment to older footage. Compilation videos appear featuring years of televised disagreements, interruptions, heated exchanges, and controversial segments involving Whoopi. Whether fair or selective, these montages encourage viewers to see the latest incident as part of a larger pattern, rather than an isolated exchange. For longtime critics, the new clip reinforces existing opinions. For others, it simply becomes another chapter in a public career that has unfolded under constant media scrutiny.
Austin's obsession with race gets thrown back in her face. Today's video comes to us from sunny Austin. Sounds like a town. We're in sunny Austin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry. For context, Sunny is a staunch supporter of reparations and has made a fortune spewing nonsense about white privilege and racial justice. Well, turns out she's not as oppressed as she claims she is. She's actually the descendant of slave.
Observers also begin focusing on the dynamics around the table itself. Some viewers claim they notice subtle changes in the reactions of the other hosts, slightly longer pauses, softer disagreements, or more cautious attempts to move conversations forward. None of these moments are dramatic on their own, yet together they fuel speculation that the atmosphere has shifted. In live television, even the smallest hesitation can become the basis for thousands of online interpretations once clips begin circulating.
Whoopi claims Biden's loose bowels should make voters throw in the towels. Goldberg's rational so weak she doesn't care if Biden can't speak. Yes, it's a magical land where little Debbies make big bellies and brain cells go to die. This week on The View, Whoopi doubled down on her support of Joe Biden's re-election. No surprise. But it was her peculiar poo-powered prose that piqued my potty predilection. Roll it!
I don't care if he's pooped his pants. I don't care if he can't put a sentence.
Meanwhile, Gutfeld returns to his own program with little indication that he views the controversy as a major victory. Instead of dwelling on the exchange, he continues with jokes, commentary, and criticism aimed at multiple political figures and media personalities alike. To many supporters, that willingness to move forward becomes part of the appeal. Rather than extending the confrontation, he allows the discussion online to develop without repeatedly inserting himself into it.
If he his pants, and in fact, she'll stand right behind him. Not only does she have a terrible case of Trump derangement, she also has no sense of smell or a really weird fetish. And I'm not one to kink shame, to each his own. I guess you just got tired of Joy's crap. Kat, you know what was the most interesting thing about this? Was the audience reaction. Like, when she started talking about poop being everywhere, the audience was, like, frozen. They were like, I don't, what is going on here? Whoopi has a poop problem.
What does she mean she has poopy days?
Attention eventually turns to television ratings and audience trends. Supporters of Gutfeld point to the continued success of his late-night program, arguing that it reflects changing viewer preferences and growing demand for politically charged comedy delivered with humor rather than traditional talk show conventions. At the same time, critics of daytime television argue that long-running panel formats are struggling to attract younger audiences, many of whom now consume short-form clips instead of complete broadcasts. Whether or not a single exchange changed anything, it feeds into a much larger conversation about the future of television.
These are married white women, and they do fall in line with what their husbands are doing.
People have to wonder, where does Sunny Hostin get her opinions?
Yeah.
Like you said, and it's obviously from her husband. She has to tell her what to say on The View, because without it, she's got nothing up there. She's not very bright. But the problem with her is that she went...
When the next episode arrives, Whoopi addresses the surrounding controversy in much the same style viewers have come to expect. She emphasizes respect, civil discussion, and the importance of conversation, while dismissing much of the online reaction as another example of internet culture magnifying ordinary television moments. Supporters appreciate the consistency, while critics argue that it demonstrates an unwillingness to acknowledge changing audience expectations. Either interpretation reinforces the divide that has surrounded the program for years.
Sunny Hostin, who thinks climate change caused the solar eclipse, the dumbest of them all. Because everyone knows the moon caused the eclipse, which is controlled by The View's gravitational pull. All right, Kat, did you ever see such a group? It's amazing how Joy and Whoopi became the smart ones.
For me, the most shocking thing about the conversation was how truly boring.
Ultimately, the lasting significance of the episode depends less on who won the exchange and more on how modern media transforms every televised moment into endless digital content. Today's audiences replay, remix, and reinterpret conversations within minutes, often shaping public perception long before the participants have another opportunity to respond. Whether viewed as a decisive media victory, an overblown controversy, or simply another viral television moment, the episode illustrates how influence now belongs not only to those speaking on camera, but also to the millions of viewers deciding what deserves another replay.